Hello there. Hold on. Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you can probably see from all of this around me, I've allowed myself to get more than a little bit overwhelmed. I mentioned this in the previous video. This whole side of my office, this very small area in the office that I've kind of been segmented into, and then a part of another room has just been piled up with things that companies have sent me, with things that I've purchased for myself for review usage, for things that I'm going to use for the channel to make videos, new pieces of technology that I was interested in, things like that. And I haven't had a chance to look at any of them yet. So I thought I would take a few minutes and just dig through this first part of the pile, start unboxing things, showing you what comes in these boxes, telling you a little bit about them as I look at them. And then after I've had some time to use these items for a little while, I would like for you guys, if you don't mind, to put a comment down below and let me know what of these things you would like to see me make further videos about. I realize at this moment that my camera angle's not quite wide enough to even encompass the stuff that I have on the table in front of me, so sorry about that. We'll go through things kind of quickly. But first, let me clear all of this away and we'll get started. So first up, the Switchpod. You've probably seen this everywhere coming and going, which is why I didn't really want to throw a dedicated video about it out there. I've actually already opened this up, but I just stuck it right back in the box because I haven't used it for anything yet. So what comes in the box? What is the Switchpod? If you are not familiar with it, if you haven't seen it from every single other person's channel, the Switchpod is a tripod. But as you can see, it's sort of like a handle. It was designed with vloggers in mind, kind of. Very solidly built, collapses down to be super small and slim, reasonably lightweight, has this large knob at the bottom you can use to tighten up the tripod mount so you can secure your camera on there. And then when you have your camera on there and you're ready to use it, you grab it by one of these legs and then you flip it and it goes out to be a tripod that you can sit down on a desk, chair, floor, log, whatever you want. It's not a gorilla pod, it doesn't wrap around things, but to be able to hold this in your hand, hold it out in front of you and vlog, flip it out very easily and set it down, I thought that was a great option. And I think the price on it, a little bit steep, it's like $100, but it's very solidly built. The one thing this is missing, and I think they're actually working on this for a future release, this does not have any sort of ball head. So basically what you get when you fold this out, this is what you get. You can angle it by like putting it at an angle, but you can't actually like aim down or aim up or anything like that. Nothing fancy. But very lightweight, very easy to pack. This is gonna be in my backpack or my travel bag every time I go somewhere. Awesome. Next up, this is actually a bit of a heavy box. This is the NewKey, and actually the company that sent this to me, because this was sent to me for free for review. They sent me this lovely thank you card saying thank you for giving us a chance, thank you for looking at our product. And unfortunately, this has been sitting in a box on my shelf over there for too long, probably a couple of months. Sorry. So what is the NewKey? If I remember correctly, it is a Bluetooth keyboard with a bit of a twist. There's a small box in here, USB cable, and a couple of chromed up brackets, some nuts and bolts and things, a micro USB cable. This looks like some sort. This is going to be a lot more involved than I thought. But there it is. Oh, and you can hear it already. So I think the actual name of this, the NewKey, I think is the brand name, and it's the Rockset, R-O-C-K-S-E-T-E. You can see it's got these knobs on the front. I don't think they actually do anything, but they do move. They're tactile. They have a little clickiness to them, and they actually click when you push them. So maybe they're buttons that are programmable. I don't know. There's a micro USB, an aux port, a 3.5 millimeter, a DC input. It's a sound by JBL over here because, as you can see, it's a keyboard. It's a very interestingly designed keyboard, but it has speakers built in on either side. And if I remember correctly, this keyboard is a mechanical keyboard, so you can hear very clicky. And then when you pull this section up, it gives you a little bit of a stand. You can put your tablet in. From the looks of it, I think the 10-inch iPad or a 10-inch tablet is going to be about as big as you can go with it, but that's not bad. It feels very well put together, and I think I'm going to have to take some time to read up more on it before I go any further with it. So again, if you'd like to see a video about this thing is very solid, very heavy. I could see this being useful like if you're trying to transition from laptop to full-time tablet, having this as like a base station at home for the tablet. But if you want to learn more about it, see what it does and how it works for me and stuff, let me know. I can make a follow-up video on this as well. Ooh, and this works nicely as a handle. I probably shouldn't do that, but I am. Next up, juiced Vertex Hub. This is something I purchased on my own simply because the main machine that I use for all of my video editing, it's an iMac. It has 2 USB-C ports, and that gets a little bit limited. So the juiced Vertex Hub, as you might be able to see on the front here, is a hub. It's a USB-C or USB-A 3.1 Gen 2 10 gigabits per second dedicated data and charging hub. And what comes in the box, of course, You get the hub. Looking at it up close, this section doesn't look like it was terribly well put together, just being honest. But it is very solid. It feels like solid aluminum on the outside. It does have anti-slip rubber pads on the bottom. 3 USB 3.1 10G ports on the back. USB-C, it looks like for a display. DC 12 volt power. And then 4 USB 3.1 10G USB-C ports on the top. So this is to a computer, not to a display. Also in the box, a couple of what feel like very nice braided cables. USB-C to USB 3. As well as USB-C to USB-C braided, still kind of short cables, and a bit of an unreasonably large power brick, 12 volts at 3 amps. So I'm definitely going to be setting this up on my desk, using it for all the devices that I've got, so I don't have to constantly reach behind the Mac. Looking forward to that. And to just mention this one very briefly before we move on, a person in the comments, and actually I don't think his comment made it through because it had a link in it, but it was a comment on my video about the Canon G7X Mark III. I mentioned that it doesn't have a bracket to put a microphone on. He said, well, a company called Rig makes a bracket for it, the VlogL Bracket. So that's what this is. You just open it up, and as you can see, it's got a spot to open up the battery door. You attach it to the tripod mount of the camera here, and then it gives you a tripod mount there. Then over here is a cold shoe. This is where you would put your microphone right next to where the microphone goes on the camera. There's also a little Allen key included so that you can do this attachment, but it also has a slot here so you could use a quarter or a flathead screwdriver or whatever. But I cannot wait to start using that. That's actually part of the reason I haven't done a whole lot with the G7X, but I'm actually thinking about doing a follow-up video on the G7X, including this, as well as talking about some firmware updates that have come, because that's gotten to be a better camera now. Moving on, too much to talk about. Google Stadia. I've heard lots of mixed opinions about this so far, but when they announced it, I definitely said I had to give it a shot. I think it was $129 for the main unit and then an additional $70 or something for this additional controller so that my son and I can play together. In case you're not familiar with it, the Stadia is basically Google's answer, their online arcade service. So you would pay a monthly fee, you can stream games live over the internet if you have a fast enough connection. There's the controller you would use. Oh, and the cool thing about it is you can actually pair this up with any of your Google related devices. So Chromecast, Pixel, Chromebook, there's a lot of options of things you can attach it to. And I think this box that I've got here, you can see we have a USB-C to full-size USB cable, a power brick, looks like some documentation, but then here at the bottom, even more stuff. We've got a Chromecast Ultra and a power brick for it. And I haven't had a chance to look at the Chromecast Ultra or any Chromecast for the last several years, so definitely can't wait to give these a shot, but not today. I don't think I mentioned before why I'm doing it this way. I rarely, if ever, have time to film anything right now, so I'm trying to take this time to go through everything, and then I can gauge your opinions to see what you would like to see on the channel moving forward. Ooh, this is the other Stadia controller, and I'm not sure if the color is going to show up well on camera, but it's kind of a mint green, and then this has like a bright yellowish green color under the sticks. Not a color choice I would have gone with. I did pay for this, I did pick this. I didn't quite realize it was going to be like a bright yellow there, but okay. I'm not going to complain about that too much. But Google Stadia, let me know what you want to see about it. There's definitely quite a few games on there that I would love to take a look at. The pile is just kind of shifting from this side to that side now, and there's no space on this side, so it's just piling up. Now, this one, unfortunately, you can probably tell by what it is, has been sitting for a very, very long time. It's been sitting for over a year. I picked up the Portal Plus and the original Portal at the same time because there was a deal, there was a bundle. The original Portal is at my parents' house. I have the unboxing footage, but I just never got around to doing this one for whatever reason. And now they've already announced the next Portal and the whole new generation of them, and I'm late to the party, as usual. But in case you are not familiar with it, Portal was Facebook's kind of answer to Amazon's Echo devices. Wow, this thing is bigger than expected. I don't even think I can get it on the overhead camera. It is that big. It does say lift here down at the bottom. Oh, and there's even a handle attached. So this is the Portal Plus. I think it's a 15-inch display. It rotates. It has Amazon's ALEXA built into it. There's a bunch of plastic on here and numbers and everything that tell me how to open it. There's an extra section in here that says hi, which I'm assuming this is just the power cord, as well as a let's get started guide. There we go. Like a half hour later, I have all the plastic and everything off. And happily enough, this actually does come with a privacy cover. Because again, if you're not familiar with it, this has a big old camera right on the front of it. And it can move around. It can kind of detect where you are in the room and adjust accordingly. But if you cover it up, it's supposed to turn off entirely. So there you go. But then again, you can rotate it like this. So if you wanted something, look at that. That's a monitor size right there. Then on the back side, you can see there is a USB-C port and a power port and then a power button and what appears to be speaker. as well as a really big speaker grill here on the front. So again, not going too deep into it. Definitely looking forward to seeing what that looks like. And the last thing I'm going to open up on camera here is the DJI Mavic Mini. I bought the Everyday Fly Cam Fly More combo. I've taken a look at a lot of DJI drones in the past, but I kind of got out of the habit of flying a couple of years ago, unfortunately. But with this one, it's ultralight. As you can see here on the front, it's 249 grams, so it is just under the weight limit for you to have to actually register it. The FAA keeps changing the rules and how everything works with that, so I've been kind of leery about it. But what comes in the box? This very nice gray DJI Mavic case, which when you unzip it, has the drone and a controller, a 3-port battery charger, some spare propellers. I don't really want to unwrap all these at the moment, but it looks like a couple of USB cables and some little USB extensions for the controller, a screwdriver, and some sticks for the controller. Although if I remember correctly, yep, there are sticks inside the controller already, so those are spares. Then a second box with prop guards in it that will probably never get used. This looks like the power adapter, just a USB wall brick, box of documentation, and I would assume these are the batteries. Yep, 3 batteries. And that's what the battery looks like. Should just kind of clip into the charger here like that. Yep, clips in nicely. And I think that's everything. My desk is in absolute shambles right now. Also, one last thing. Not going to unbox this or anything, just wanted to kind of mention it. In case you would like to see a video about it, I also picked up a couple of these. I can't even get the whole box on here. It's not a wide enough angle. LG Ultrafine 4K display, USB-C. There's the model number, 24MD4KL, 24-inch monitor. I picked up 2 of them. I can attach them to my iMac, so I can have 3 monitor display. I think. I haven't actually opened the other one, but if I can't use it with my iMac, I'm going to put it on my second desk and use it with my laptop. So if you'd like to see more about that, learn more about that, let me know. It's like a $700 monitor, so it's a little expensive, but so far, I've been using it for a few days and it's lovely. But I'm completely overwhelmed, and I didn't do this video as a look at all the stuff I've got. This was just I am completely overwhelmed. I want to start making videos again, and these are some of the things I would like to make videos about. So if there's any of these things you would like to see me go more in depth on, let me know by leaving a comment down below. I would definitely appreciate it. Give me sort of an idea of prioritization of backlog, because I am bad at that. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up there for today, because I have a lot of mess to clean up now and I'm overwhelmed and it's late at night. Thank you guys as always for watching. Thank you for sticking with the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed whatever this was. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you have not already to get notified when new videos come out, because again, there will be videos coming out about several, if not all of these things eventually. I've actually got other videos that I'm working on as well on the status of my new office and the work that I'm going to be doing on it. Before the end of the month, the goal is to get out of this room and into the new office, which is like 3 times the size of this room that I'm in, and I'm only using about 1/3 of the room that I'm in, so I'm gonna have a lot of room to wiggle. But again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye, guys.